The Unscrewed Mind.
Welcome to podcast number 28, and we're going to be talking about the law of attraction is a hoax.
Yep.
And the things that we've looked into on that. I do not have a beard. I am the same person.
Are you
just
sure?
to get that out there. Yeah. And so this is something that I've pretty much avoided watching videos on YouTube about and really reading about it up until we decided that we were going to do this podcast, because I do see a lot of YouTubers out there putting up videos about it. There's Reddit, Reddit, what do they call it? Handles.
They're called posts.
Is it post? Okay. It's not Reds or anything like that.
No.
Okay. And then, there's just people out there that have spent a lot of time trying to disprove this. And I know that Matt had mentioned quite a few people that he had looked at that, at the end of they say all this stuff that they don't like about it. And then at the end of the day, they say, but it really can't be disproven.
Yeah, it's a hoax, but it's 90% true. It's just there's 10% that they don't agree with. And I really think it's part of this culture. And if you, as part of the YouTube kind of family and having a channel on there and trying to curate stuff, there's kind of this ebb and flow to content where there will be a whole lot of people that talk about how this particular law is the true law. And then everyone makes a video hopping on that bandwagon because those keywords come up in search a lot and everyone's looking for them. Yep. And then someone will go the opposite direction and they'll be like, actually, this law is not true at all. And once one of those person deviates from the way everyone else is going, then everyone else hops on that bandwagon. So there's going to be this huge influx of videos talking about how it's just not true. And it's like that on all the social media platforms. Everyone's just following suit to get clicks. And I think the true message gets lost. That's why I think that this is going to be an interesting podcast episode, because there's some of the reasons why they say the law of attraction is a hoax they're just completely outlandish and a little ridiculous. So I think it's going to be fun to talk about them.
Yeah. And we definitely look at different keywords, things that are popular now. And it's funny, after being a YouTuber now and looking at what the other people that are doing the law of attraction are putting up, and they're jumping on the bandwagon of whatever's popular at the time and doing a lot of, they're playing the algorithm game for sure. And it's just part of YouTube. And so it makes sense to do it. But it's funny that an algorithm is ultimately driving what YouTubers are putting out also.
Yeah.
So that plays an effect into it.
I will say, I wish I could crack the algorithm. It'd be nice to know how it works. I'm trying, and that's even another one. Like even there's YouTube channels out there where all they're doing is giving you ways that you should hit the algorithm, and then there's other channels telling you all the ways that the algorithm isn't there, and there's no such thing as an algorithm. Like even for the YouTube how to be successful YouTube streamers, there's a give and take or a truth and a lie aspect to all their videos that kind of permeates their channels.
Let's go with there is no algorithm. Let's go with there is none. Then we don't have to worry about it.
We're the algorithm.
We are the algorithm.
That's a law. We are the algorithm.
So I looked into a video. I should have looked up the guy's name real quick. It's about the natural law or the spiritual law. He talks about how basically there's this large conspiracy group, or a group of evil individuals that are working in concert together. And he was formerly a Satanist, and he's talking about all of these things that have occurred, and that the law of attraction is one of those things that was put out to negatively affect people into ignoring things that are happening in their reality that's negative. So if somebody's, if people are dying, you're not paying attention to it. If people are hurting, you're not paying attention to it because you don't want to pull that into your vibration and bring yourself down. I think that anybody with discernment in their life at all can notice that there's still negative things that happen in our world. And I've never felt like I think, oh, well, nothing negative happens at all.
Right.
And even, the law of attraction studies, spiritual studies talk about how there's a positive and negative of different things and the energy levels. It's like the yin and the yang. So I know that the stuff is out there, but I think really it's more about not feeding your mind with that information all the time and not focusing on it, not letting go of it to a degree. But this kind of really got me thinking about what the word letting go ultimately means. And I was always like, how do you let go of something?
Right.
And now I'm looking back at the last couple of years and I see things that I've let go of that I wasn't even necessarily trying to let go of. And so one of those things being television. Very rarely do I watch anything on TV. Video gaming is pretty much gone. It's something that was in my life that I wasn't like focused on getting rid of, but it just kind of evaporated. I don't know how to explain it other than that. It's just something that moved.
As part of your spiritual journey, like your motivations change, and there's not enough time to consume a bunch of television because you have other passions. One thing I want to go back to on the negative thought aspect or negative emotions aspect is that, your subconscious mind plays a big part of this as well. You have kind of the conscious thoughts that you have, and then there's all this subconscious out here, which some people refer to as your shadow. But like there's things in there that you don't understand, and there's things in there that guide your actions that you're not aware of. And that's why it's so important, like you said, to be aware of what you're thinking and to consciously concentrate on positive things so that you can imprint that on your subconscious and then have more positive thoughts and more positive influences on your everyday life. So that's one thing that they always do is they explain away the negative aspects of your life or negative things that happen as a subconscious part of you that you haven't brought to the surface and then let go of yet. And it's interesting how that still kind of directs your life.
I'm just gonna talk about real quick my thoughts on the law of attraction being fake, or a hoax, whichever way you want to say it. So here's things that have changed for me, specifically around the last 2 years. Is empathy for other people is higher than it's ever been in my life because I understand that everybody is going through something. And, with the whole thing that happened with COVID and everything over the last year, and hearing people repeat the things that they've seen on television and that kind of thing all the time, you notice that they're following a set of tracks like Neville talks about. And there's no reason to be upset at somebody or feel bad towards them because of a belief that they have, especially when it's not negatively impacting you. I mean, if it's something that's negative or if it's hurting somebody else, it's one thing. But, getting in an argument or attacking somebody for their belief is something that I would never do now. And before, I wouldn't attack them, but I would like to get in a heated debate with them about it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And so that would be and I'm talking about anything. I'm not talking about anything that's happened in the last year. I'm talking about all kinds of things.
Like what the best chicken wings place is, like what kind of shoes you should wear,
the chicken
whether
wings,
or not the car you just bought is any good. Like these were arguments that Rusty was just ready to have.
It was like a fun debate for me. I like to debate stuff. So I kind of let go of that part of my personality.
Mm-hmm.
It, of course, still creeps back in sometimes, but it's not something that's prevalent. And then from a competition standpoint, I was extremely competitive. And I, of course, want to do great, but I know that I want to do great by my standards and not by anybody else's standards.
Right.
And so that's a huge shift for me there. So I feel differently about people. I am in a way better mood on a daily basis because I was never grateful for the things that I had. And I was always thinking, when I get to this point, I'm going to be happy. And I would get to that point and I would be like, I would just move at the bar instantly. You
Yeah.
know, I wouldn't take any time to breathe in the accomplishment. That's another thing that it's changed for me.
Yep.
Reading and studying things that are beneficial to me is something that I do now. Didn't do that prior. And then I think maybe the most important thing is just the relationships that are in my life, how they have changed so much more positive, or relationships or people that I would get in conflicts with consistently. I really don't talk to them anymore, or I don't,
Right.
you know. And so I started changing and picking who I'm talking to, because if they're not going down the same road, or if they're at a place where they want to be and I want to be at a different place, there's just no point in surrounding yourself with something that bothers you. I mean, there really isn't, because
Mm-hmm.
it just doesn't make sense. And so, just overall, every part of me to myself has a much greater, I mean, it's just better overall. I mean, everything that I've just listed is positive to me, and it's a positive move for, I would think, anyone. If it is a cult hoax, then they've done a great job in improving people. That's kind of how
Right.
I feel about
It's
it.
not, it might be the best cult out there, it's
Right.
not all bad. Right now I feel like the kid in class where I'm second in line to share like what I learned over summer break.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid in front of me went to the same spots for vacation, did
Yeah.
all the same rides, rode the same bike, bought the same car, had all the same experiences. And then when it's my turn, all I can say is what he said,
Yeah.
like if I were going to share what the law of attraction has done for me, I think it's giving me kind of insight into the fact that prior to last year, which I would say is my spiritual awakening, I was I didn't know what my purpose was. I didn't know what my goals were, and I was just an anxious, stressed out, kind of at my wits' end mess of a person. And I'm just not that way anymore. And I feel like I'm in more control of what's going on in my life and who I am as a person, because I understand a little bit more about how I've been shaped up until now.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that things have been imprinted on me over time through media, through parents, through peers, through people that I love and respected. And they've shaped my ideas. And now I understand that through conscious effort and repetition, I can reshape how I feel about things. And over the past year, that's what I've been doing. And I just feel like I'm in a much better spot than I've ever been in my life. So, thanks to you, Rusty, for bringing me into the loop. And then from once in there, I've kind of, like you, been reading and studying and consuming information to try and find out more. And I feel like my appetite just gets bigger. The more I
Mm-hmm.
eat, like the more I want to know. And, I'm excited for how far we've come in a year, and then how far we're going to be able to go in a year. I think it's going to be really
And the
impressive.
and the risk that we're willing to take now is off the charts from what it was. We were very much doing the same exact thing on a daily basis and never
Ugh,
deviating from it.
yeah,
And both of us have picked up new hobbies, and we're working on different things in our life that is something that we wanted to do prior, but it was like the paradigm or the fear of doing that just continually would tell us, the little voice in the back of your head was stronger than your real voice. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's that's really what it is, overcoming. And I think that Dr. Joseph Murphy really explains it the best when he says, it I think it perfectly correlates with the law of attraction as a hoax. He talks about how no matter what it is that you're giving power to, you're going to find the answers that you want, because that's part of our reality. Is you're able to find scientific information to back up whatever you want. So if your number one goal is to set out and prove that the law of attraction is fake, you're going to do it. I mean, that's just
Mm-hmm.
how it works.
Just like
And
if the number one reason why you can't make anything of yourself or can't accomplish anything is because no one takes you serious and everyone's out to get you, then
yeah,
no matter what, you're going to be the victim and no one's going to take you serious and everyone's going to be out to get you. Like you're right. There is, how you approach everything has a lot to do with how things go for you.
and it goes down to, sicknesses and diseases.
Mm-hmm.
When you start looking for those things and you start studying them and thinking about them, you're going to understand it, find it, be able to look at it under a microscope. But if you were to ignore that and not feed it into your reality, you wouldn't see it. It's just all of the programming that happens through our televisions, all of the different drugs and things that are out there available. You start seeing that it says that your life is going to be better if you do this or if you do that. You'll try it, and it may work for you because your thought process has changed to, if I do this, then I will feel like that. And then it may not work, and you may have a horrible side effect to it because you looked at the side effects
Man,
and saw. And
how sick has WebMD made
yeah,
people, right? Like,
man, if you ever feel bad, do not go on the internet and look up anything. And really, it's like avoid the doctors because they're going on the same place. The
how does
doctors are going to WebMD too.
how does my sore throat or my pinky toe hurting instantly mean I have cancer? It seems like all of it means I have cancer, which is crazy. Hey, we're 20 minutes into this,
Yeah.
and the whole point of this is the law of attraction is a hoax, right? So I wrote
Yeah.
down some reasons why. I watched some videos, I read some websites, some blogs, whatever, and I wrote down kind of the unifying reasons why the law of attraction is a hoax. I want to bounce them off of you, Rusty. You tell me what you think, okay?
Okay.
So the first one I wrote down, and I'm going to read this. The law of attraction is a hoax made up by the capitalist elite that run our country, and it's designed to make us want what we don't have and consume more stuff so that the rich get richer.
Yeah.
Does that sound like the reason why the law of attraction really exists is just to make you want stuff that you don't have so that you work harder and make the elite rich?
It doesn't seem like that way to me, because I know a lot of people that go into the law of attraction or a spiritual awakening end up switching gears, and the things that they liked that cost money is something that they don't focus on anymore.
Right.
So, I mean, a lot of people will figure out that they're in a certain job that they're making X amount of money, and it's not worth it to them anymore. And they're happy to make less and not have the environment that they're in. So I don't see how that one really plays into it.
Yep. I think from the outside looking in, maybe, especially if you're just looking at what's online, the law of attraction is all about manifesting material wealth and that house or that car or a pile of money. But like you said, I really do think that once you get into it and you start to understand what drives you as a spiritual being, are you popping something?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's coming. That's coming all the way across. Once you realize that you're a spiritual being, you let go of that stuff and you move towards bigger things.
Well, one more thing on that is you think that you want something from the beginning, and what would be the best way to pull in someone to something that I mean, most likely 95% of our uh, reality that we're in right now, at least in the United States, is focused on making more money, getting more things, that kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're introducing something to somebody, why wouldn't you show them something that they're wanting? I mean, you can
Yeah.
use the law of attraction to make more money, and you can use it to improve your life. So it's a good thing to sell the law of attraction. Then the person could get into it and they could decide that that's not what their goal is anymore.
It just goes to show you that our motives and our priorities are all jacked up,
Hmm.
because you only really ever start something if it's going to help you make more money to get more things that really aren't going to make you happy. The second reason why the law of attraction is a hoax, everyone talks about, there's a lot of videos out there about synchronicities, those little things that happen that you can't explain, but they led you to the successful point that you are right now. You talked about spiritual numbers, Rusty, when we were preparing
Hmm.
for this episode. So those synchronicities, the sudden appearance of signs or help along the way, is confirmation bias. Absolutely nothing more. What do you think about that?
So to me, I for sure believe that your brain or your subconscious mind, whatever way you want to say it here, does have the ability to register the time that is passing and to look at something at the same time every day. I believe that that's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do think it's strange that I am seeing synchronized numbers all the time. But your mind could figure that out and start looking at it. So, however, um, my wife has actually seen numbers in dreams or,
Mm.
during a, what's the word I'm looking for?
Meditation.
Meditation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
During a meditation, she's seen numbers and, looking up what those numbers mean. And that's on the internet, of course. You can look up pretty much any number and there's some kind of angel number or something that goes with it. However, I'd never have noticed this before in my life, but
Yeah.
I've never heard about it before. So I I mean, the camera went off in my front yard at 11:11, and I looked down at my watch today, and there was nothing on the camera. It just went off, and I looked down. It's 11:11. Seems
I
strange
wish
to me.
I wish that when the camera goes off in your yard, like there's just kids that aren't even in your neighborhood and they're all holding up signs that say 11:11.
11:11.
Like that
Yeah.
would be like, wait a second,
If
someone
that
trying to tell me
happens,
something.
if that happens now, we'll know where that came from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
We'll
I
definitely
manifested that for you. You're welcome.
we'll put that one on the channel if it happens for sure.
So this one's my favorite, and um, I mean this just makes sense, right? The law of attraction is a hoax because there is no scientific evidence, and so the law of attraction is a lazy illusion, and it is a poor substitute for real concrete things like talent, hard work, diligence, persistence, skill, and luck. What do you think about
Yeah.
that?
So I would love for anyone to tell me how I have had manifestations happened. Explain the car manifestation,
Mm-hmm.
explain me moving to a different state, getting a better job, being somewhere where my daughter could use the public schools with very actually no effort on my part in looking for the place to move to. That happened. And why would I manifest a car? I mean, that doesn't help me in any way.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
mean, you can manifest anything. So it's not necessarily, but at the same time, the subconscious mind this is kind of like the 11:11. The subconscious mind can make you look at your watch at 11:11 because it's a manifestation at that point. If you want
Right.
to see synchronized numbers, you're going to see them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the whole thing about how time doesn't exist is actually not talking about our time on our watches, because that's just something to keep our reality in check for us, but just in general time is what it's talking about. Moving forward or backwards, it's just now. There is no future or past, it's just now.
Mm-hmm.
But to keep track of our life, we created time, like on a watch
Right.
and the calendar and that kind of thing.
It's a
Not the
trip
same
for
thing though.
sure. So what I can't believe about that excuse for why the law of attraction is a hoax is that they actually put luck in there. Doesn't luck just kind of give you the picture of, something spiritual behind the scenes or something that can't be quantified by science that has a determination in your chances of being successful or not? Like just being in the right place at the right time and something happening that, I mean, isn't
Yeah.
that just enough? That's just enough of a gap that the law of attraction can just slide in there and say it's not luck. It's because that was this person's singular manifested focus on exactly what they wanted. And where there was no reason, they made a
Mm-hmm.
reason. And
And
we call it luck, but that's not what it is.
yeah, and Bob even says that there is no such thing as luck.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody can use this, and it's all about the belief in yourself and the belief in the ability to do something. And at absolute minimum, if you were to say that the law of attraction doesn't exist, you improving yourself and believing in yourself is going to get you better results than you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
improving yourself is going to just make you better, period.
Yeah, if you have in your mind that the law of attraction is going to help you find someone special, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
tell yourself, I'm special, I deserve to find someone special. Just repeating that to yourself over and over again is going to take you from someone who maybe was sloppy, didn't take care of themselves or the things they had. Once you start picturing in your mind that you're special,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to start treating yourself special. And when you
Yep.
start loving yourself, that feeling of love spreads out and people are going to notice that and they're going to want to be a part of that person who obviously loves and takes care of himself. I mean, I feel like thinking about it from inward out, from a law of attraction perspective, just kind of makes everything make sense. The last one I
Mm-hmm.
want to talk about, and this is the social media YouTube aspect of it. The law of attraction cannot make you an overnight success, and that this is a trap of social media, and that's why it's a lie. Is
Yeah.
that the people that are out there saying that they could do this or they could do that and showing you the end result of what could have been months or years worth of work as something that's instantly manifested
Yeah.
is the lie.
So that is for me something that is so easily described, because we have paradigms, we have limitations in our mind. If you could convince yourself that something can happen instantly,
Mm-hmm.
then it could. But every goal that I have, if I really start thinking about the way that I feel about it, I know that there's steps based on, just my past experience, and I've got
Mm-hmm.
stair steps in there, and I've removed a lot of them, but it's, it's a lot of work to completely change the way that you think about something.
The fact that you just said it's a lot of work.
Is there a lot? Yeah, that's a
And
problem.
I was gonna say that it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Get out of the way, paradigm.
I
It's
don't
not a lot
know.
of work and it's not hard. It doesn't take any time.
Yeah.
Time isn't real. But you can see how uh like you manifest reasons why you can't have what you want because
Hmm.
you've been taught your whole life that everything has to be qualified first and that there's uh glass ceilings that have to be broken through, you
Yep.
know. It's a
So
trip.
So here's 5 things that I would like everybody to do Actually, let's do 6. I wish everybody would subscribe and like. That's actually 7. So
Right.
that's the first thing. But and we really do appreciate it, and we're super grateful for it, for everybody that's subscribed. And we're hoping that the content is something that you haven't seen, and it's a different take on it than what others are doing out there. And hopefully you're picking up something that maybe you haven't heard before.
Right.
But 5 things that I would ask everybody to do that is made it this far today is write down what you're grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
Start meditating. Study the information for yourself. Write down your goals and manifest something small. And you prove that the law of attraction is a hoax by doing those things. Because I know that if you do the things that I just listed there, that you will feel better about yourself in a very short period of time, and things will start happening for you like they've happened for me and Matt.